What is going on? How's it going, everybody? Okay, well, we're here in the garage. Kind of adjusted the angle a little bit. Hopefully you can see a little more. Maybe not, I don't know. Let's close the garage. A little light spill is causing chaos. See that? Much better. Okay, so here's what we're cooking with today. This is the Snapmaker SnapDryer. Now, what you can see right here is the Polymaker PolyDryer. But they partnered with Snapmaker to make this little guy. The PolyDryer has become now the SnapDryer. So we're going to do a quick unboxing, take a peek inside and see what is different. And we can start right here, right now. So let's open it up. I think the most important thing to note is that there is something a little bit different from these. Now, I have not purchased the PolyDryer yet, but I do have the Polymaker boxes in preparation, knowing that the SnapDryer boxes were coming and I needed to get something hooked up quick. So I would just heat them up in the heater and then transfer them from the S4, which is a 4 filament heater that goes into the Artisan. I would transfer them to here when they're done. But let's take a look at this. Now, right out the gate, you're going to notice something different, and that is that you get a little kit here. And God, I love how Snapmaker has this attention to detail. There is a little flange piece here for just a nice piece of metal trim where you can add to this to give it that kind of Snapmaker clean metallic look. So what do I want to do? I want to show you something, and that is the Snapmaker SnapDryer box. Okay, so this is a different product. This is the box, okay, and this is the dryer. Okay, so the dryer and the box are different. And just for the purposes of this, let's put them side by side, just to make sure when you're seeing them side by side, you can see the label slightly different. Okay, so question that you're asking is, what's the difference inside the box? Well, if you were to open this box, you would see that it also has the little PTFE tube and the little adapter for screwing in. Why is this awesome? Well, I can tell you right now that these, let's see, on the Snapmaker, are they threaded? I don't know if they're threaded or not. I don't think they are. So I think that goes actually on the front here. But the point is that your Snapmaker PolyDryer versus the actual non-Snapmaker PolyDryer will not have as much cool accessories. Now, the way that they pack this thing is awesome. It comes with this little bag of things. You have a measuring tape, you have some PTFE tube, and then you have your little PTFE locking coupler. But they put everything inside the box. So whatever you need is in the box. Now, right out the gate, you know, these things are almost identical, except for that the top branding is going to be a little different. You can see here versus here, Polymaker versus Snapmaker, right? So that's just how it is. Computer stop. Ain't nobody talking to you. All right, so now we're gonna buff this out. Take a look. Bearings are the same. Everything inside is exactly the same, except for that it's a different color, right? These pop off for when it's time to go heat. You pop them off and you have an opening to the chamber, right? You put them back on, they have a little seal on them. Push them down, and they go all the way down flush and flat. Okay, now, we'll get to that, but more importantly, let's look at this. This is available now, by the way. This is not a new product. All right, in that plastic bag are 3 little boxes. The first box, AC adapter. An AC adapter with, in my instance, the United States power plug, okay? That goes in with what looks to be like a twist lock, right? So you put it in, click, it's in. So there you go. That's not coming out. No, it's good. All right, you can push this little button. Looks like there's a little button. and that releases it, pops right out. So if you're going international and you're bringing your 3D print setup with you, trade show, something like that, you got it ready to go. Good thinking. All right, what else is in the box? We're gonna get to the big show next, but first, let's take a look. All right, so this little box has got 2 different bags in it with a total of 3 components built out of like 5 or 6 pieces. So here is your plastic parts and then your desiccant, right? Now the desiccant that they use is colorful, changes color. Personally, I use a thing called, where is it? Let me, what did I do with that stuff? Yeah, here it is. Personally, I use some stuff called activated alumina. So this stuff is like way more hygroscopic than your usual desiccant. Like 10 times better than this stuff as far as moisture absorption goes. However, you do have to recharge it. Same as desiccant, but it is rechargeable, which is a plus. So let's look at the heater brick. Here it is, very cool. We're gonna get into it right away because I got something to use. But you can see, very small, good size. On the bottom is some power ratings, and on the back is the good stuff. So it's got a simple AC adapter port. We will plug that in and go give it power real quick. Uh-oh. Where are we going to give it power? Tricky. I'm going to have to let something go. Oh, I know what I can let go. Ooh, that was already let go. What does this go to? I wonder. Nothing. Cool. That belongs upstairs anyways. And as far as I know, this goes to the streaming setup, so we don't want to disrupt that. But that's okay. Looks like we don't have to. All right. They're plugged in. Now, I'm going to run the power cord. Good question. How long is that power cord? I'm not sure, but I'm going to guess maybe like 4 feet. Enough to get right there. All right. So here we have this, here we have this. Now, you can use this to put your spool in if it's a smaller spool. They have thought of that. If your spool does not rest well, or if there's some sort of piece of it that just kind of keeps making contact, they have a solution. However, I'm pretty sure that's the front, that's the back. So you're gonna wanna put your readout like that. Very important. But before you do, you're gonna wanna bust this open. And to do that, there's little plastic tabs here on the bottom. You see these little plastic pieces and just a little. All right, so in the interest of this one, we're gonna save some of my alumina. We're gonna go with the color-coded combo. And we are going to tear this bag open. Yes, you are supposed to do this. Just a little bit. This way you can pour these into the chamber, and that little piece that we almost just lost is going to be our little clear window. So you kind of just be very careful not to lose too much, or any if you can. Yikes. I believe you will have extra. I do believe you could have extra. Great. Now there's little desiccant beads bouncing around my floor. I'll have to get those with the broom. But you could very easily go pretty full. So that's cool. And oh man, All right, so you're just going to want to be conscious of the fact that you don't need all of them. That is a fact, Jack. All right. But the benefit is, once it's in, oops. All right, so it just fits right into the teeth right there. Before you put it in, you're going to notice there's a little pull tab on the back. Give that a yank. See, comes out. It should look like this when it's fully pulled. Whoops. And the result, the humidity level inside this little tank, which I got to say, not so great. All right, so that goes in there. Boom, we're done. Where are we? Then we have this little section right here. Now, no matter what you do, they have thought of it. To get rid of all these little beads. The PTFE tube, you could save, you could use it right away, depending on what your setup is. But what I love about this is you've got your little pieces here for making it look so pretty and cool. So let's see what these pieces are, right? The first and the second. One is a plastic piece that looks like it has and gives away to threading. The other piece is the threading. So you can put this in, and you can run a little thread to it. And then if you really want to, you can layer in between them with this little ring. All right, it's a nice little piece. So you can see how that could just rest right on there. Oops. Boom. You get a nice little look to it, right? That's what they're going for, depending on how you go out of it. So to do that, you would simply go in, push out this little plastic piece, push in this plastic, whoops, excuse me. Apparently you would want that hooked up. Well, that does not make sense, right? How does that make sense? No. You'd have this thing. Perhaps, you know what? It's a good idea. Let's read the manual. Not in there. Online tutorial. Go to the computer. So there is, oddly enough, should have it over here. Where are you? That's not it. Well, that's peculiar. That is weird. Just present a computer display. Yeah. There we go. Let's try that. Oh, I see. Cheeky. Looks like screen capture HX. The icon in the system, try to configure. Ultra. There we go. Let me see, folks. Well, something is definitely wrong. Because I got it. Oh, there it is. Okay, cool. We're back in business. So, pay no attention to all this stuff. Let's go. Definitely not looking for a new bar stool. Go to SnapDryer. Put our pieces there. SnapDryer tutorial. Lol. There's SnapDryer. See, comes with all this cool stuff. Airlock, filament tube connector, etc., etc. So we got this, dude, that goes in. Yeah. All right. When do we get to the part about how that other stuff hooks up? Oh, maybe not. Okay, loading filament. This little guy, cut. Goes through the tube. Maybe that's not what it's for. No, there they are doing it. Look. Doing it in all these ones. So they put it on the plastic there. So they put it on the top. All right, so the word is to put it on the top. Interesting. But if it's the same piece of rubber and in the same size hole, what difference is the top going to make over the bottom? This is what I do not understand. Are you supposed to put this piece in? No, go right through, right? Right? Will it? I feel like it's designed to go right through. And then like maybe this is what goes in there? Like what is the threading for? You know? It's not quite clear how this plays into the picture. Let's see. They don't tell you. Wait, what? You can use 2.85 millimeter filament? Wow. That's a cool idea of using a 285 filament. Let's see. Let me look at that picture. Okay, so they just went right into it. I don't know what this plastic piece is then. But I'm going to say I like the idea of going out the back. Then the lid doesn't become part of your filament process if you can avoid it. You feel me on that? So I don't think we're going to do this. I think we're going to go back over to here. That's what I think we're going to do. I think this is a much better move, right? So, then I guess this piece of black plastic goes in there. I don't know. It's not making the most sense to me. Maybe, this black piece goes on the inside. And then the filament, maybe you flip it. Flip it into reverse it. This is weird. Maybe that's it. Okay. I feel like that might be better. Yes. That is what these are missing. Ha. Damn, that's a cool part. So if you put it on the inside, then your filament goes right into a plastic path. It doesn't get caught up on the hose. So you don't have to do all the craziness that I do. Okay, and then where does this go? Oh. What was that? Oh, more of that stuff. So then this screws right into that, I guess. Not quite sure how this plays in. This is a very weird process. I'm not sure I'm doing it right, but if you look at the picture, oh, it's in. Oh, it's in that plastic. Oh, yeah. It's in. they don't actually tell you to do it. That's the crazy thing. They don't actually see. It just says feed the filament through the top cover. It just says assemble, put the top cover on. But why is there a tube connector? Why is there this? What's this other piece? This filament entry cover. Yeah, there's nothing about those pieces and how to install them. There's just some, see, look, this guy's got it though. He uses it on the top cover. So I think you basically put this plastic, see, for me, these are always kind of above. So weird. See, this is so bizarre. I know that this almost has to go because it can't. It almost is designed, and then I think this guy is supposed to just grab onto it on the other side. All right, I'll just push a little harder. I really like this piece though. I want these on all mine. I don't think they all came with it. I'm gonna look again. I feel like I would have noticed that little piece. You see what's happening, right? It's just this little thing. I don't know what to do with it. I don't think it would be any better going up. It's the same rubber gasket piece. I could try taking it out, but once you put this thing in, it's like kind of stuck. Is it not supposed to be screwed in? Is it just like a... Is it just like, you know, not necessary? Is it like just gravity? Is it a gravity thing? Careful that. Yeah, it's the same piece, same rubbery thing. So you would put the black piece in so that you have an anchor for the threading, but I could do like I mean, do I get pliers? I can get pliers. Let's try that. Okay, we'll call it a win. It's pretty weird. I don't think that's like a clean thread. Whatever. You know what? It's in there now. So, question is, do we like that? See, what we've been doing here is they give us this long to. It's going to go out. It's not a clear path, but for the most part, it's okay. Except for that now, everything's got 40% on it. Anyway, let's put some stuff in. I don't know what to say about this. Gotta do it for every one. Because they say you recommend going straight up, but unless it's lower, and you can see this is lower. Unless you were to go right on the back, but I'd have to rotate this whole damn thing. But then maybe you could see in. That's actually not Rid of that title card. This is what you want. Thanks for the heads up, internet. All right, so I just put it in, and maybe that's really all there is to it. Is you just kind of see it go through onto the other side, and you say, "Cool, there it is. That's the day." Maybe that's it. Definitely feels like it's in there. And then this is just something for something else. I mean, that would make sense if this is supposed to go in another feeder somewhere. Anyway, hook it up. Do I know what I need to dry? This gold filament that I have. Be cool to dry that out. See, this stuff is pretty moisture rich. All right, cool. So that answers that question. No, that's not how you're supposed to do this. So we're back to square one of what is the purpose and why. So this could go like this. That is not so bad. So maybe that does go like that. Maybe you are supposed to have this little black plastic piece in here. Let's try a few different ways, people. Let's try a few different ways, because honestly, it's the worst that could happen. Nothing. So if you're just supposed to stick this stuff in there, then you inevitably push out this guy. So who gets dominance? Who gets to go in and who does not? Or are you supposed to screw them damn things together? Once it's in, do I need to use a spreader? That'll be my next attempt. Let's use a spreader. Okay. First thing is, does this even make a difference? Well, that motherfucker's got teeth, I'm telling you. That's got teeth. Then what happens? This just doesn't make sense to me. Does not. Confused by this, but that's all right. Because so far the machine works, right? And all we need is some thick PTFE tubing, which I happen to have right here, and a PTFE tube cutter, which I happen to have right somewhere here. So we'll just do a quick snip of the tip, circumcise the tubing, and out it goes. Cool. Should be plenty for now. Here is our filament, whopping 44 level humidity. There are accessories galore you can print for this thing, so keep an eye out. All right. Let's go. Power. Oh wait, you turn it on back here. Right. 6 hours, check. Go. Drying. Let's change some stuff. 536. Can't change any settings while it's paused. Only adjust time. Then only adjust 3 heat settings. And then it goes. You can split this base using a print to 2 different guys, but we're going to run it at 1. Okay, so the online tutorial is there. Just really briefly, would be nice to have a guide on this, but so PLA level 1, PETG level 2, polycarbonate level 3. So as long as we don't get into the nylon, which it says you can do in there, just keep it at level 1. 6 hours and watch the magic happen. Well, I guess we'll just have to see what happens then. So there you have it. There's the poly dryer and the Snapmaker poly box right here, which also includes one of these filament things that just goes on in. This one does not have the little silver piece in it. It does not have this. It also does not have this black piece here. And I sit here now realizing what this is. This is for the single extruder. We figured it out and wasted a lot of time doing so. This is for the single extruder module. So if you have a single extruder module, let me show you, as we figured it out. Actually, here it is. So this 3D printing module, you have to mod it. You can see mine has been modded to allow for PTFE here at the tip. Let me show you that real quick. So I had to mod this in order to get some PTFE on it. The solution here proposed is that you can now replace it with something that has a built-in PTFE lock, and that's why we felt those teeth. So we was right. Put it in there with those parts. I'm gonna let this one go. And what I'm gonna know now is if we want to, we can now put in this lock. Now, for me personally, I think that's a moot point because the auto feeders here take care of that. But I think we're gonna do a little reorg. I think we are gonna go straight up into this thing. I think we are gonna flip them around and do it. But that's for another day. I'll be honest. It's for another day. Anyway, you can see here, you got their readouts here. You can see the different levels you want to use for the different materials, and that'll get you where you need to be. So overall, pretty stoked. More boxes to load, more boxes to dry. For me personally, I think it's really just a matter of getting these little desiccant things up and having those boxes on the standby ready to go. It makes it a lot easier to, load and have stuff stay dry. For me, I'm constantly switching between the AMS and these, so having a place where I can dry them in between. I also have another dryer over there. This is musical filament out here, people. This is musical filament. That's what happens in this garage. Musical filament and swearing at machines in the evening with some whiskey. All right. Well, this has been fun. Thanks for watching. See you later.